So, good evening. My name is Eamon Tuhami, and I'm the founder of Motivii, and I'm going to help you understand how we can help you make work better. So, we've all had that feeling in work where work just gets a bit mad, when there isn't enough time to get the day done, everything that you need is stacking up against you, and that problem is compounded when you manage people as well. How do you get feedback on what they're doing? How do you understand how your team are feeling? Now, what we've done with Motivii is we've created a single platform to help make work better. We start off with the employee. We help every employee manage themselves better by allowing them to take a minute out of the week to complete a weekly review. That also allows them to give feedback to their manager. So their managers save time in having to chase feedback. They also get extra insight on how their team is feeling. We then help senior managers understand how the overall organisation is doing overall. Now, what we've looked at is something simple, something that every employee should be doing with their manager. Every employee should be telling their manager what they're focusing on, how their week's going. So we built a mechanism to do that. And as a startup, we've built an app. You can do it on lots of different digital devices, but the way that most people do it when they get alerted at the end of the week is via email. I was surprised about this. So every person at the end of the week gets an email to let them know their weekly review is open. Typically the weekly review opens midday Thursday, and they've got until 7 o'clock on Friday to complete it. So what do you do in this review? Let me show you. Simply, you click on the email. We use a secure token, so you don't need to remember any username or password. And you start off by entering in your top 3. You've taken my video out. So that's a good start, isn't it? Let me... the clicker doesn't work. Okay, so hopefully this plays, or I'm going to blame Kartik afterwards. Okay, so let me explain what you would have seen. What you would have seen is a browser opening up instantly. And the first thing I get asked is to enter my top 3 highlights of the week. This is simple text entry. So you type in what your highlights were, and there's no character limit like Twitter, but if you type more than 200 characters, the text goes amber. If you type more than 300, it goes red. We don't want war and peace. We just want your top 3 quick snippets of what's gone well that week. Once you've entered in your highlights, you then enter in your top 3 challenges of the week. If you don't have 3 challenges, you only need to enter 1, or even none. Again, you keep to the character limit. You then get reminded what you wanted to focus on work for that week. So you rate how well you're able to focus on those things. You then enter in your top 3 things that you want to focus on work next week. And this is easy to do because it's a Friday, it's an afternoon, you can think about how the week's gone, you can think about what you want to do the following week. However, before you submit, we then ask you a couple of anonymised pulse questions. So there are 30 questions that we ask through a quarter, but you only get 2 a week. And that allows us to understand how you feel about your organisation. This quick review process last month took 1 minute and 51 seconds for people to do. On average, we have around 75% completion rate week on week. We have over 1,300 employees on the platform. We can see that this process is used and it works. So what do we do with this information that we capture? The first thing that happens is Monday morning, 8 o'clock, you're coming into work, you're feeling a bit tired after the weekend. We send you an email, and that email reminds you of the top 3 things that you want to focus on work for that week. If you're a manager, you simply scroll down that email and you see each of your direct reports' focus for the week and what their highlights and challenges were. Now this saves managers a lot of time in understanding where their team is focused for the week. We have lots of managers use this information to support them with their weekly meetings. Again, there's none of this having to see people prepare last minute before they go into the team meeting or actually writing what they're going to talk about in the team meeting. People have already done it the Friday before. So this isn't rocket science. We're automating a process. Where it gets really clever is every single employee, every single manager, and senior managers can actually log into the Motivii platform and see insight in real time on themselves, their team, or their organisation. So this isn't a mock-up. This is live, literally yesterday. This shows me how engaged my team is for last quarter. It gives me real rich insights around what areas I can do to help support them. So we're trying to combine this rich qualitative information, so individuals, highlights, challenge and focus, with macro insight at the same time. Just today we were looking at the data in real time. We saw with Brexit there was a big impact on how people felt at work. We were looking at the data today. Our data scientists about midday pulled our numbers for all of our employees, and we could see that, might be impacted by Trump maybe, but people's motivation at work had dropped today 6.9% on average compared to previous weeks. So again, this data is real time and it's rich. We have been live actively in markets only since the start of this year, and we are working with some huge clients from RBS to Deloitte. I'm very happy that we've got one of our clients here tonight, which is Paul from NBC Universal, so hi. What's interesting about Paul at NBC is we went live with a UK team, and that UK team is using Motivii, it's their business development team. We then had a manager come over from the US, saw the team using it, and they went live with Motivii without us even talking to them. This is the power of Motivii, is it's not something that's forced on people, it's an actual system that can help managers. This was an example of a quote we got this week from Lloyds Bank. So we've had an experimental marketing team use us for the last 10 months. We went into the meeting and Henry Matthews, who is head of their Accelerator Marketing Programme, shook my hand and said, "Thank you, your system has made a tangible impact to how we have managed the team. It's saved me time having to chase people for feedback. It's given me richer feedback, and it's allowed us to understand how people are feeling, and when there's been dips, and there are dips, we've done stuff to improve it, and we'll be able to track and monitor our impact on our people." We're a team of 8 based in Shoreditch. We raised 650k from private investors last year. We're a blend of developers and salespeople, which makes us a really powerful, small startup. Our ask for you: everyone in this room who manages people can go to Motivii and sign up today for free and start using it with their team. We met HP and Sage last week, and what was amazing, actually afterwards, someone shook my hand from Sage and said, "I've just gone live with my team." It is that simple. So my ask is, if you're managing people, you should be using Motivii to help you understand how they're doing. My second ask is, we're expanding rapidly. We need help and support around how to engage with large organisations. We learnt this year that HR aren't the people to talk to, because Motivii is not a HR tool, and there are a whole other issues with HR. We want to talk to senior managers. We want to talk to people who understand getting feedback consistently week on week, and saving time and getting that feedback can make a tangible impact to their business. So, who can you introduce us to? Also in the US, we're seeing massive growth and usage in some of our data. So our big plan for next year is, how can we launch into the US, and what help can you give us there? My final ask is, we've just opened a new investment round. So we're looking to raise £1 million worth of capital for 20% equity. So I would love to talk to any of you here tonight about these 3 things. The good thing about having such amazing people here tonight is we are already talking to many of you. So it would be great to talk to you either through me directly, or I have 2 of my sales guys, Harry and Oliver, wave. That's Harry and Oliver. If you can't talk to me, talk to Harry and Oliver. They'll must make a lot more sense, maybe. So, thank you very much for listening. Sorry that I couldn't play you the video, but I hope you understand how simple Motivii is to use, but then how impactful it can be to your business. Thank you.